Hello, everybody. My name is John T. Rose. Everybody know me as J. Rose. Currently, right now, I work for a large firm called Lewis Brisbois Biscard and Smith, working in their commercial litigation, entertainment, sports, media, and IP practice. I also extern with the Atlanta Hawks, and I run my own consulting firm named The Chosen Circle. Growing up, did I dream to become a lawyer? I felt like being a lawyer was something that was just for me. When I was 6 years old, the teacher used to ask me, probably like everybody else, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I don't know, I had a list of three, lawyer, president, doctor. And for a long time, everything else on that list just started falling off. And being a lawyer is something that I felt was really my calling. The older I got, the more I understood the practice, the more I understood that it fit my characteristics as a person, and the more I understood and appreciated how I wanted to advocate vigorously for my clients. I wanted to help other people protect their magic, and that's what I have the opportunity to do every day. The challenges I faced growing up in Southside Jamaica Queens to become a lawyer revolved around confidence, knowing that becoming a lawyer was attainable, and a lot of that was a lack of role model. In my community, specifically within my family, we're full Jamaican. My mother and father worked very, very hard to take me and my brothers and sisters where we are today. But I didn't really know what a lawyer looked like for quite some time, outside of just watching TV. And when a young child doesn't know, specifically in the Black community, what it looks like to be something, we find ourselves only idolizing entertainers and athletes. And there's nothing wrong with that. I played sports, there's nothing wrong with that. But the most difficult part of me growing up in Southside Jamaica Queens was what does a lawyer even look like? What's the path that you take? What are certain grades that you need to achieve to make that dream manifest itself? So for me, that was one of the particular things, having like a positive role model. I didn't get that until much later in my life. Another thing was distractions. I mean, growing up in New York, you want to fit in so much. You want to be able to protect not only yourself, but your little brother, your little sister. I found myself getting into a lot of gangs, getting into a lot of things that I shouldn't have probably been doing. And I don't want to blame my community per se, but it takes a community to raise a child. And unfortunately, some things came with a lot of pros and cons. So there was a lot of distractions growing up in New York, and I was just blessed to not fall, downfall to the community that led to the demise of many of my peers. I think my mindset was always there, but I guess my mindset changed to really push my foot to the pedal around like probably 11th, 12th grade of high school is when I realized that I really wanted to change my family's life. And I think that I had the characteristics, the personalities. I think God really blessed me to be that person. And to do that, it didn't mean getting arrested and going to jail and being in gangs. After I was arrested around 16, I said, yo, listen, you got an opportunity to really make something special happen. And if you continue to act like this, your mother's gonna continue to work 3 jobs. She's gonna continue to work 7 days a week. Your father will continue to work 7 days a week. And you have to change that, right? You were born to change that. You were destined to change that. And so around 12th grade is when I became more mature, more responsible, and realized there was a way out. And for me, football was my way to get out of the neighborhood. Football was my way to go to college. I got a full scholarship to go to Hampton University. It became a dream that was recognizable and identifiable that I could grasp, and I went full force at it. I made sure that I got a chance to go to college because I knew that was going to be the first step to become a lawyer. You need an undergraduate degree, and we could not afford school. So I think around 16 is when I said, listen, you got a gift. You have an avenue, you have a vehicle that can take you to your end goal being law school, your end goal being changing your family's life. It's time to stop playing games. So when I was in school, around my junior year of high school, I got my 6th concussion. Doctors said, look, you could continue to play football, but these are the risks that come with it. You could choose not to play football, continue your education, continue in school, help out with the football team, and that would be that. And I had to make a really strong decision as to, do you see yourself going into the league, or do you see yourself providing for your family in this avenue of law? And I ultimately chose being a lawyer. I mean, I was blessed to even get a scholarship. I thank Hampton University, HBCU, historically Black college, for everything they did for me. But I knew that I was gonna be able to use my brain for decades, as long as God blessed me with every single day I was going to be a lawyer for the rest of my life if I were to achieve that goal, as opposed to going to the NFL. So when I got that sixth concussion, I decided to stop playing football. It's important to give back to your community because I feel like leaders have the biggest duty to be of service to others. I learned at a very young age from my mom, who to me was a driving force and leader in my household, that she had the duty to be of service to her family. And I felt like that if I'm a leader, who I think I am, if I was born to be a leader, I have to be of service to other people. And I feel like it starts with the university and the school that gave back to me. Eventually, I obviously want to give and touch everyone, but Hampton University was the platform that propelled me to be able to even go to law school. So it was important for me and my friend Malik Dean. We grew up in the same neighborhood back in Queens. He's in law school, similar dreams and goals, to give back to the school that kind of made it all happen for us. And I realized that for young black, boys and girls, they have trouble with the LSAT exam. And whether that's confidence, whether that's actually putting attention to detail to it, whether that's finances, they have trouble really with that score, with that exam. I had significant trouble with that test. And we couldn't afford a class to go to take an LSAT class. So I said, Malik, if we could start a class, a scholarship to give back so students can actually pay for this LSAT class, maybe we'll encourage more Hampton University students to go to law school, to effectuate change and to be a leader, to be of service to others. People not taking lives into their own hands, some of it is not understanding what it is you actually want to grasp. I do believe that a lot of dream chasing involves self-reflecting and really appreciating what it is that you want. You need to start manifesting those ideas and visualizing it, not just thinking it, but truly visualizing it. It's the power of thought, right? But you just can't sit there thinking all day. A lot of it, after thinking, you need to speak it into existence and find those people around you that you want to give that energy off to, that believes in your dreams, and speak those things that you've been thinking into existence. And after you think it and speak it into existence, you need to act on it. And that's what I mean by some people complain about situations, and I found myself being one of those people. I spent every single day complaining, you're not going to the gym, you're not praying enough, you're not working hard enough, you're not here, you're not there. Okay, well, what are you gonna do to fix it? And after I spend some time thinking of, okay, these are the specific steps. If this doesn't work out, here's plan B, plan C, plan D. To fix this, now I'm gonna speak it into existence. I'm gonna give it off to my friends and see what they think sticks. And once we figure it out and I have that community around me, that energy around me, which is contagious, now I can act on it. Now let's act on plan A, plan B, plan C to really change my life and to change the lives around me. The way you find the people around you with the right energy that you want to keep around you is you have to be willing to engage. You got to just try. You never know. Some people will come to you. God will put some people in your life for the good and for the bad, right? So you can learn from good things, so you can learn from some bad things. But you have to be willing to try and to trust and to be willing to hurt, right? You're going to go through some bad things. Some people will hurt you. Some people will change your lives for the better. I would not be where I am if it wasn't for my family and for my friends. It would be physically impossible. I would not be able to do everything that I've done today if it wasn't for God, my family, and my friends. And I learned from some bad people around me who I didn't want to be like, who I didn't want to treat other people like that. And I learned from some great people, my friend Cam, Dez, Malik, all these people that have so much influence on my career, so much energy just to have a sounding board, someone just to speak everything to, and for them to say, hey, listen, that sounds great, go after it. It's very important. So to really build that community around you, that energy, that team, you have to be willing to try different people, and you have to be willing to trust. You have to just engage. You can't be afraid of it. You can't be afraid to go get this money. So if you really want to build a team around you, put people in place to show you their worth, right? And for you to show them what you really want to do, right? You got to back up your talk too. The first advice that I can give to young entrepreneurs is believe in yourself. Very important that it starts with you. I spent a lot of time growing up not believing in myself, second guessing things. And there's nothing wrong per se about second guessing yourself. It's okay to be afraid, but you have to understand and believe in yourself and know that everything's going to be okay. I was very insecure. I dealt with a lot of depression growing up because I wanted to be somewhere and I saw that it wasn't happening. And I started not believing in myself. Despite my mom, despite the community around me saying, John, you're going to be okay, I didn't really feel that way. I didn't feel that way. And when I started sitting down and having a positive mindset, that law of attraction, being positive and speaking those positive things into existence, I started to feel better. And when I started to feel better, I started to move more purposeful, right, with better energy. So to young entrepreneurs, believe in yourself. And understand that everything will be okay. What's for you is for you. God's plan is yours. You heard Drake said it best. And I do believe it is on his timing. So don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated. The first business doesn't start. Understand when you may need to switch it up, try something else, but be so happy going through that process, because there's so much people out there that aren't going through that process for whatever particular reasons, right? We don't have to delve into that, but be happy starting a business and it's not working out, so you start another business and you start another business, or you haven't gotten to the first law school you're going to get into, then you apply to another one, right? I didn't get into many of the law schools that I wanted to get into, and my journey was something that was a roller coaster. But the end goal was to be at Emory University School of Law. I made it there. The end goal was to have the biggest jobs that any law student can have. I made it there, and it's because of God, it's because of my community, it's because of believing in myself. I guess some just tips that work for me personally. Every day is a new day. It's a fresh start, right? So while you should be cognitive of your mistakes in the past and be mindful of where you want to go in the future, be sure to enjoy the present, to live in the present, and to get what you can get done within the hours that you have, right? I'm one of those people, I'm OCD. I'm thinking about yesterday. I'm thinking about, oh man, what I got planned for tomorrow. And that's great. But you should also focus on what you have. What does John Rose have going on right now? So live in the present, be mindful of the past, be intentional in your movements moving forward in the future, but enjoy what you have going on. Enjoy the moment that you're in and really appreciate that. Write things down. I write down every single thing. At this time, I got to go here. At this time, I want to go here. So practice effective time management. I think that's very useful. Don't be afraid to ask questions. A lot of people are very afraid and timid to ask questions. Closed mouths don't get fed, right? And don't be out here begging, right? But don't be afraid to ask questions. Knowledge is everything. And I found that if I just emailed somebody, just call them, I would find, and tip 2, don't recreate the wheel. There's people out there, trust me, it's a big world. It's been going on for quite some time now. There's people out there that probably line up significantly with some of the things that you want to do in life. So what I did was, because when I was younger, I had a hard time figuring out what this lawyer that I want to be looks like. When I got older and I understood that I could just look for it, that's what I did. I spent some time trying to find my role models who I can idolize, figure out their stories, and just didn't want to spend a lot of time watching from the outside looking in. I wanted to reach out to them. I reached out to the biggest entertainment lawyers that the world has to offer that's alive right now, and you'll be surprised that all of them responded to me. At some point in time, eventually, might not have been the first time, might not have been the second time, may have had to pull up on them at a panel or something, but I eventually was able to build those relationships and get that insight as to what did you do that was right? What did you do that was wrong? How would you change something? What can you advise me to do or advise me to do at this young, early stage of my life? So find your role models, reach out to them, don't be afraid, ask questions, practice effective time management, pray hard, work harder, and dream big. Entering my career as a young African-American lawyer definitely comes with a lot of hurdles. But I'm gonna be very honest with you, I don't know how people will take this, but it's not as difficult as I thought it would be. And the reason why it's not as difficult as I thought it would be is because I don't play games. I don't play games. I set out everything that I do to do my complete best, and you'll be surprised how powerful we are as people, and when I'm in that courtroom, I could be the only black person. I'm chewing up everybody. So it's not as difficult. There's going to be barriers in life. Things are going to be difficult, but every job that I wanted, it came hard. But the harder I worked, the more I made sure that I was on my P's and Q's, I got every single job that I wanted. I got everything that I wanted because I put the work in, I put the effort into it, and it was made for me, and I prayed hard about it and I got it. So yes, it's difficult being entering this career as a young black lawyer. But you'll be surprised how much people you could relate to in our community, how much clients you can get because they can trust you. We are powerful as a unit, as a people, and the more we recognize that, you'll understand that it really isn't that difficult to kill a competition. So like I always said, my goals in life, I believe thinking it, speaking into existence, and visualizing it and acting on it. So I have I'm 25 years old right now. So I have my 25 to 30 plan, my 30 to 35. So 25 to 30, I'm going to spend a lot of time getting really good at my craft, right? I don't want to rush into anything. I don't want to be that guy that was Future's lawyer or was Donatel's lawyer. I want to be really good at what I do. So I'm going to spend 25 to 30 working under mentors at a large law firm, getting really good at this practice. But eventually my end goal is to have my own law firm. Gotta have it. I started my own consulting firm. That was a great entrepreneurial endeavor, but I have to have my own law firm. Have to. Something that my son can look up to and say, that's my name on that law firm on the side of that building, that's in 45 different locations across the country. Eventually have firms in the national, overseas. So that's one of my big goals, is to have my very own large law firm. I want to be a mogul too. I want to go down as the most, I guess my end goal, if anyone would ask me, is I want to go down as the most successful, identifiable black lawyer of our generation. I want when kids say, Mom, I want to be a lawyer just like John Rose. Like, I want to be a basketball player like LeBron. I want to rap like Jay-Z. I want when you think law, you say just like John Rose. Because we live in an era where social media, technology, we can engage with our consumers much readily quicker than we could before in the past. So while there's been big lawyers that are successful, and I know that now because I do my due diligence, our generation has a cheat code to where people that were behind the cameras now are in front of it, right? We have managers that are moguls now that are influencers in their own right. We have directors, photographers, people who just shot things that are now influencers in their own right. And the list goes on. So for me, I want to be that person. That person, when I was growing up in Southside Jamaica Queens, I couldn't finish that sentence. I want to be a lawyer like. I couldn't finish that sentence. I mean, we knew Johnny Cochran from that famous case, but he wasn't an entertainment lawyer. He didn't have the suits and the, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have all of that. I couldn't see that. I want to be like the Diddy of law, billionaire, changing the world. So my end goal is to finish that sentence for the young black boys and girls growing up in Southside Jamaica Queens. I want to be a lawyer like John Rose.